Jesus Freak here. I want to clarify some stuff regarding my channels, since, as I said, a week from today is the last time that my weekly Bible readings will appear on this channel. In the future, as I've said before, they will be on a channel dedicated to my sort of unofficial ministry. Now, in the past, I've felt that it was acceptable to run my unofficial ministry from the same YouTube channel that I've used to post personal stuff. And honestly, there's been people who disagreed with that from the beginning. They felt that I should have, either split the channels apart in the beginning or just not talk about my personal stuff. In fact, I had another channel, and it sort of fell into disuse. That's the channel that I'm now using for actual Jesus Freak content. That channel is called Volcano Bible, and it's located here at Volcano Bible. Now, why did I change my mind, you're going to ask? The reason is because I've started using third-party content. And I need to make it clear. When I'm only using my own content and stuff that I source from everywhere, that, it doesn't matter where it comes from, it doesn't matter who uses it. What I say, what I do, only reflects on me. The problem is that what I say and what I do no longer reflects only on me now that I'm actually officially licensing third-party content. I have to be careful that the channel that content appears on doesn't reflect badly on the copyright holder. In other words, it's not only reflecting on me. In some cases, it could reflect on the Lockman Foundation. Additionally, when I was attempting to contact, I think it was One License, about how I might be able to potentially license actual modern hymns. Modern, I mean by date, not by style, for use in these videos. Part of the problem was that the channel Friendly Neighborhood Jesus Freak isn't dedicated to the Friendly Neighborhood Jesus Freak ministry. That's not the only problem, so I still can't, look into using one license. I may, if I'm lucky, be able to look into one of the other resources or perhaps try to license material separately, a la carte. But it's going to need to be on a channel that's dedicated to the ministry. That's why I revived Volcano Bible, and that's why I'm moving my scripture readings there. Now, on a related topic, a few days ago I uploaded a video where I talked about a project I'm working on that's currently codenamed Super KJV. And the thumbnail, if you've noticed, is a screenshot from the work in progress. The current state is I have the text all keyed up. Like I said, I have every verse marked so I can easily cross-link to it. I've been sourcing a bit of material from here and there. There might be a little question about my use of the TBS word list. But so far, everything else I've been using is fair game. Now, I thought about including some other stuff. I thought about including some free maps. There is a site out there that has some good maps. The only problem is that as they follow the usual route of the Exodus, and I've mentioned this before, they don't go through the Red Sea. So I can't use the whole set of maps. I'm currently going through a long process of reviewing the KJV footnotes. For the New Testament, I have a scan that I did a few years back of the Clarendon, because I had bought a copy that was deliberately falling apart, but I only managed to scan in the New Testament. I have another Oxford facsimile on my computer that I'm using for the old. And where I have trouble, I'm using the Cambridge Clarion as a third reference. So I'm working on the notes. That's going to take a while. There's like 7,500 translator notes to go through. I'm also looking for other resources I might be able to integrate. Synopses of the books. Of course, I'm going to run into two issues here. The first is copyright. I've been as reasonably respectful of copyright as I can with all my material here and everywhere related to my projects. But I still have to, make sure I'm dotting all my I's, crossing all my T's, and not crossing any of my L's. And, check everything over. And there's a couple particular things I got to look for in stuff I don't write. First is that, it has to jive with the KJV without causing confusion. So no use of, Yahweh or whatever. If it gives a name for God, it has to be Jehovah, because otherwise, you're going to run into, wait, that's not what my Bible says, from people with King James. And I'm intentionally trying to avoid that. The other problem is that there's a lot of resources out there that might not necessarily state things that have to be said about certain subjects. Now, I can admit here, I don't necessarily believe everything that's non-scriptural, that's usually considered to be tradition. But I have to avoid contradicting on this matter, because it could be faith destroying if my resources and what I'm considering the standard narrative conflict. That's why, for example, I can't use the maps that don't show a Red Sea crossing. Particular places that this could be a sticking point are Mosaic authorship of Deuteronomy 34, Solomonic authorship of Proverbs 30, and Pauline authorship of Hebrews, as well as, of course, traditionally, the traditional names of the authors of all the books of the Bible, as far as known. Moses wrote 6 books. Jeremiah wrote 2nd Kings. Ezra wrote 1st and 2nd Chronicles, etc., etc., etc. Those are things I have to say when I'm talking about authorship. Whether or not that's what I personally believe, it's what has to be taught. And I have to make sure, any resources I provide can't conflict with that. So that's where I am with that. In the meantime, I'm reviewing some video recordings I've done, seeing if there's anything I have to comp. Any serious mistakes that are going to merit a re-recording. And go through and finish some more videos. Then I'll have that off my back for a few months. In the meantime, I'm getting ready for church this morning, and as a lady who usually takes me to church, Jan Babcock, is unavailable because she had a tooth pulled, so she's feeling a bit out of it from that. So take that as you may, but I had to ask someone else to take me. Or alternatively, go to a different church. And I figured, if I can go to the same church today, that's my preference. Anyway, I see y'all on the flip side. Jesus freak out.